Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah Schultz and I am a realtor in the Northern Nevada market. And on today's video, I thought it would be really fun to give you guys my predictions for the summer real estate market. Spring is in the air. Currently, at the time of filming this, we're experiencing near 60-degree weather, which is very unusual for February, although we did just have a whole week of snow. But my point is, summer is on the horizon, and this is typically the time that not only the weather heats up, but also the real estate market. And so I'm going to dive into what I predict will be some of the norms in our market, so don't you go anywhere. One of the key predictions is going to be increased inventory. This is typical this time of year. Typically, people don't really think about listing their homes or making big moves in real estate when the weather is gross out, when people are focused on the holidays. We are past all of that, and more inventory is going to be hitting the market. I personally believe that we're going to see up to a 20% increase in our market. So if you are a buyer who's just been kind of waiting, you're kind of like peeking on Zillow, just kind of tossing around the idea, but you're not really seeing anything that catches your eye, just hold tight, because I believe in the next month, 2 months, 3 to 4 to 5 months, we're going to see a lot more inventory and you're going to have a lot more options. But be careful, because with that, you're also going to see a much bigger buyer pool, which is going to drive up competition, which also has an impact on pricing. Typically, with more competition, we do see prices increase. We don't know what's going to happen with the interest rates. If anything has been proven thus far, it's that we just don't know, right? We can't predict them. They'll tell us that they're going to be cut, that they're going to go down. At the time of filming this, you're looking at about a 6.8 for a conventional loan, but obviously your mortgage rate is specific to you, your unique set of numbers, your down payment, your debt to income ratio, your credit score, all the things that make up you as a specific buyer. So you'll have to go over that with a lender, which I am not. But my point is, we're going to see most likely a huge surge of inventory in the coming weeks. In fact, it's already starting. I'm already starting to see a lot more properties hitting the market. Now, if you're a seller looking at this information, you may be thinking, great, like, there's more inventory. Now's the time to sell. But also keep in mind that that puts more competition in your kind of sphere of reality as well. You're going to be competing, your listing, I should say, is going to be competing with other listings that are maybe similar and in similar price ranges. So make sure you're doing all of the things to make your listing shine. If you want to know what those things are, I'd be happy to help you out. You can hit me up. There's a link in the show notes below to do that, but I'm going to keep moving. My next prediction has to do with pricing. I believe that this summer we are going to continue to see home values appreciate. We're going to see values continuing to rise, although it may not be at such a significant pace as it has been in years past. I do think it's going to be more stable. I do think that we are coming into more of a balanced market. One thing that's important to note about contributing factors to home value appreciation in our specific market is that we have a lot of transplants, a lot of relocating folks from just over the border in California. A lot of them have gotten used to home values being significantly higher than they are here in our market. So obviously that is a contributing factor to home prices being driven up here. And it's also contributing to the tight amount of inventory we've been experiencing. Obviously, people who were born and raised here are now also competing with buyers from out of state who are able to afford higher prices. So that is going to continue to be at play here this summer. Another prediction of mine is that we're going to see a sustained interest in luxury level homes and properties. The demand for that is driven largely in part by, as I mentioned, buyers from out of state who are looking at our median sales prices and our luxury market pricing and thinking, wow, that's a steal. Even though it's continuing to increase and continuing to be more of a challenge for the locals here, those buyers from out of state are going to view this as a really good deal. And for better or for worse, you are going to be competing with them if you are a local. Even if you are an out-of-state buyer, you're likely to be competing with other out-of-state buyers. All right, my next prediction kind of folds into the last three, and that is that I predict that affordability is going to continue to be a challenge for many buyers, specifically first-time home buyers who are just thinking about breaking into the real estate market. They're going to be dealt kind of a competitive, tricky hand, and affordability, of course, is going to continue to be a huge obstacle with mortgage rates still being a challenge, as well as increasing prices. Good news if you are a homeowner, though, your value of your property is going to continue to go up. So, despite the increased inventory, affordability is going to be keeping a lot of buyers at the sidelines for now. I did attend this seminar a couple of weeks ago, and it was super interesting. The data that they shared, they explained that if the population stopped increasing right this second in our market, it would take between 5 and 10 years for the housing inventory to catch up with the demand. So that kind of tells you right there what kind of situation we're in. And then add to that, of course, that our population is not going to decrease. In fact, it's going the opposite direction. So affordability and inventory are going to continue to be a major challenge. Next one up, I've kind of touched on it, but I'm going to dive a bit deeper, and that is the influence of mortgage interest rates is going to continue to suppress a lot of buyers, which is going to give a lot more room for cash buyers, or buyers who are selling homes that have just drastically increased in value over the last 5, 10, 20, 30 years. We are going to see that that's going to be playing a major role in our real estate market this summer. It has been, and it's not going to stop. I hate to break it to you, if you are a buyer who's just on the cusp of being able to afford, and you're kind of looking at all these things and thinking, how am I going to compete with a cash buyer? Well, I can give you some pointers on that. And if you want to chat with me, I'd be happy to hop on a call with you and go over some strategies. In fact, I just now helped a millennial buyer win over a cash buyer just recently. It's something that I do often. So I can give you some key pointers of how we can kind of craft the perfect offer and make sure that you are moving forward with your best foot forward. All right, the last one is something that I've kind of been talking about, and this is migration trends. This is going to have perhaps one of the biggest influences on our local market this summer and beyond. Obviously, there is this mass exodus underway from California. Californians are leaving the state and going to lots of places, and among them that seems to be a hotspot is Reno, aka the East Bay, the Far East Bay, or California's smoking section. If you're into a little casino humor. I said that was it, but I do have one last one for you that I will share. So thank you so much for being patient and listening to the rest of my video. But my last and final prediction is that we are going to see even more expansion in the new construction industry. We're going to see more new construction homes coming up. Builders have a huge opportunity just because they are going to be able to, mass produce homes to meet the buyer demand that is in our market right now. And with that, because they are building at scale, right? They're not just building one home, they're building entire master plan communities and such. They have a lot more flexibility and can offer a lot more concessions as far as incentives, financing offers. They kind of have many moving pieces and many pots to pull from, so to speak. And so that is going to give buyers quite a bit more offering and flexibility. All right, you guys, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in our market this summer? I would love to hear from you. Throw your comments below. I love reading through them and responding to them. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. I put out new videos every single week about the Northern Nevada lifestyle, the Reno Sparks housing market, and all things to do with buying and selling real estate. If a move in real estate is on your horizon, I would love to be of service to you. You can book a free call with me. There's a link in the show notes below. It's no obligation, just a chance to connect and see if we might be a good fit to work together, or at the very least, give you some steps and guidance, help you put together a strategy for what you should be doing to prepare. All right, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next week.